Hello students, today you're going to take Cornell Notes on static electricity. Go ahead and set up your notebook into the Cornell Note style. Just like any video, if it's going too fast, stop it and rewind it. And you make your questions on the left, and then the summary and an advanced question. Alright, let's begin. Okay, for the first point, we can write static electricity is a sudden transfer of a large amount of electrons from one place to another. We briefly talked about this last time, but let's talk about it more in detail today. Go ahead and write your question here on the left-hand side. The question you can use is what is static electricity? Or you can make up your own question if you want. For the other ones, of course, you make up your own question. So one of the things that characterizes static electricity is that usually it's generated between two things that are in friction, and then it gets discharged or moved and very quickly in one sudden movement. Ready? Let's move on to number 2. Oops. Static electricity is usually generated by objects that are in friction with each other. So when you rub a balloon on your hair, these two things are in friction, and that generates static electricity. But if you're like, why am I not always getting shocked? Why am I only sometimes getting shocked? Why do I only feel static electricity on certain occasions? We'll talk about that next. But meanwhile, go ahead and come up with your question for number 2. Ready? Well, moving on. The reason why you feel static sometimes and not other times, it does depend on the weather too and how dry it is. But what it mainly depends on is that insulators are more efficient and become statically charged. So these are non-conducting materials or insulators like wool or wood or balloons. Balloons are very good insulators, which they're made of rubber. When you're handling materials that are insulators, sometimes they are good attracting electrons, like this balloon attracts electrons from your hair, or giving away electrons. And usually electrons hang out on the outer surface of the material, so it'll be on the outer surface of the wood or the wool. And not all insulators are good at becoming statically charged. Some insulators, like rubber, are better than other insulators. Okay, moving on to number 4. Don't forget to come up with a question. Adhesion. Adhesion, usually the word just means things that stick together, but it's a force of attraction between also two differently charged objects. So in this picture that I got from Brain Pop, the electrons from the wool rug, and wool as an insulator, are being attracted by the rubber boot, which is also an insulator. And then once you touch a metal object, you have a discharge as these electrons travel from an insulator to a conductor. Adhesion just means the electrons moving from one place to another. And because the differences of positive and negative charges creates this force of attraction. Okay, when you're done, go ahead and start your summary and then your advanced question. Once you're done, go ahead and move on to the next step until it's time to go. Have a great day.